So I have a lot of people that ask how to render tallow. So I thought I would do a short video on rendering tallow. I do a dry render. Here is my tallow. You can see it's cut up into chunks. So I will take a big knife and cut it into little pieces. And I put it in my crock pot. Whoop. Okay, so it's been rendering for approximately 2 hours. Let's see where we're at. Rendering good. Still cooking down. You can see the oils coming off in the bottom. Okay, we're going to continue rendering. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take my immersion blender and to blend it down and then let it cook some more. I have an immersion blender. It is only used for my tallow because I don't use it for anything else. So make sure it is completely submerged. And I'll show you what it looks like when I finish. Now you can see I have blended it up with the immersion blender. There's still a few chunks left, so I'm going to let it render a little bit longer. And then I will probably hit it with the immersion blender again. All right, so we are now at the about 4.5 hour mark, and so I'm running the immersion blender through it one more time to get these last few little chunks, and then I'll start straining it. All right, so this part is a little different. I do it a little different than other people. So I take my bowl, and you can, at this point, you can use a cheesecloth. You can use anything to strain it, but you want to strain it to get all the extra out. I use an old pillowcase. My grandmother taught me this, and it fits over the bowl, and it works wonderful. So I use the old pillowcase. And then I have this strainer. So I kind of do a double strain. I set it on top of here as I'm pouring it in there. So, with no further ado, I'm going to start straining it. I'll show you after this first scoop. So you can see some of the stuff stayed on the top, and it is straining through the pillowcase. I am now done from straining the tallow. I'm going to show you real quick what it looks like. This is only the first render. So as you can see, it's a beautiful golden color. And I will take it now. I'm probably going to leave it sitting here and letting it cool for just a little bit longer. And then I actually have a lid for this bowl. I'll put a lid on this bowl and put it in my refrigerator and leave it there overnight. I'll come back to you in the morning and show you what it looks like after it cools. And then we'll render it again tomorrow. Good morning. So I just went and got this out of the refrigerator. It's quite early this morning, but when got it out of the refrigerator, I haven't even opened it up to look at it. So now I'm going to show you the next step to get it ready to render again today. So, oh, it looks great. So you can see it's dried. And you want to use a stainless steel bowl. It just makes it easier to come out. So with the stainless steel bowl, all you have to do is kind of push around on the sides and it loosens up until it comes out in a block. And the whole purpose of the dry render is to make sure there's no water. This one is beautiful. There's no water. There still is a little bit of the debris from the tallow that didn't sift all the way through. So this is why you're going to render it a couple of times, because you want to make sure you get all that to where it's nice and pretty and white at the end, because you don't want any kind of debris or any kind of pieces from the tallow still left in here. All you want is the oil. So now it's time to get it ready to render again. So let me put this in the sink. So now I'm going to cut it up and I'm going to put it back in the crock pot on low, and I'm going to let it render today. The second process doesn't take as long because there's no big chunks of meat and things. So the second render will not take as long. You're just going to wait till it's all completely melted before you start sifting it again. So let me get this cut up. And that is it. So you will continue this process, the same process that I did at the beginning, where you cook it down, you strain it, put it back in the refrigerator. You want to do this until there's no impurities in it. Definitely no water, because water is what causes mold or mildew to build up in your tallow. So you definitely don't want any water to come out whenever you flip it out of your bowl. There should be no water. But you want no impurities, nothing in the tallow. You wanted a beautiful, either an off-white or white colored tallow. And when you get that, then you can melt it down and put it in your jars and store it on your shelf. And that's it.